Venus in Scorpio. So we're going to get deep with the scope. And of course, we're going to get deep when it comes to our love, our appreciation, our compromisation. And of course, we're going to get deeply rooted into these areas where there could be a devil in disguise, which means that you don't want to get pretty much out of this circumstance and situation. We're going to be experiencing this. Either you're going to be giving off these experiences, or these experiences is pretty much going to be coming into your favor. Wherever you have Venus at, these are the areas where things can get pretty much intensified and, of course, deep and overly aggressive. And, of course, we can get deeply rooted into these areas. This can be for the good or for the bad. But, of course, we all got a love for deep desires and purposes and, of course, passions and motivations and energy and strive. So wherever you have Venus at is in Scorpio in this position. So all Venus and Scorpio individuals, this is going to be like a conjunction from these individuals. This is like going to be a situation where this is an everyday thing for these individuals. They love deeply. And, of course, they love to be deeply rooted. They love to take power and control over their love and their relationships and shit like that. You're also going to be experiencing some enviness, too. Some jealousy, some hate, and shit like that. So be very careful and very aware of where these areas is going to come from. Because, again, when it comes to the houses, these are the spaces and areas where these things pretty much come out of the waters, which is unseen water. The planet is pretty much the aspect of it. The sign is how you see these things. So, of course, this is how you're going to be pushing out, receiving, or attracting these energies. And, of course, this is going to be situations where past people, places, and things, circumstances, and situations, wherever you have Venus at in your house, going to reappear. So be aware of this tragedy. Whether it can be good tragedy or bad tragedy. But of course, when something just keeps appearing, this is a test to see how much you can handle getting rid of it or dealing with it. Now, dealing with it means that you're not trying to get rid of it. You're trying to basically be in the energy of, okay, you keep paying attention to this shit. So whatever you're paying attention to is what you're going to receive. So if it's something bad, you need to leave it alone and stop planting them seeds and rejuvenate and reciprocate. And put your seed towards shit that really truly means something to you. Now, we about to get into this. And remember, wherever you have Venus at in your house, these are the spaces and locations where you're going to be experiencing deep, intensified energies when it comes to how you love, how you appreciate, and compromise, and lust, and overindulge. Also, this is going to be situations where past people, circumstances, and situations going to pop back the fuck up. This is going to mean that you can be loving these things deeply, or you can be transforming them. But of course, retrogrades come in a gift or bad gift. So make sure these gifts that you're wrapping up and ready to serve and open is a gift that you want to appreciate versus unappreciation. Now we're going to start it off with Venus and Scorpios. Now, if you have Venus in your first house, you're going to be experiencing personal, deep love and compromisation and interactions and intimacy with personal people, personal affairs. Now, if you planted bad seeds, you're going to be experiencing situations of losing wealth, health going to be fucked up, you're going to be very impulsive, and of course, you're going to be blaming other individuals in your personal life of why these things is happening. Or on the flip side, individuals that you are interacting with can be blaming you for certain situations and certain things. So be very careful and aware of these areas. These things can appear or reappear. Now, if you have Venus in Aries, when it comes to the love, you're going to be basically dealing with misunderstood passions. And of course, interactions, and of course, past situations can pop back up. Now, if you have Venus or Scorpio in the second house, you're going to be pretty much experiencing loving the things that you appreciate, build with, and very possessive with. Now, you could put yourself into situations of planting good seeds by valuing good things, or this can be something bad by you overindulging the people, places, and things that you valuing with, and also sex, and of course attachments, and of course lust can destroy you right now. And you're going to be experiencing these situations when it comes to your desires, things that you was basically deeply rooted into, things that's pretty much behind the scenes. Deep desires can pretty much start popping back up. And for the first house, people that you related with, whether on good terms or bad terms, can be popping back up too. I forgot to do that. Now, Venus in Tauruses, you guys is going to be basically experiencing misunderstood energies of giving off and receiving opposites. And of course, opposites attract. So you can be attracting good shit or bullshit. But of course, it's all about the balance. Now, if you have Venus and Scorpio in the 3rd house, you're going to be loving and compromising and experiencing on a deeper level when it comes to your environment. And of course, this means that there can be situations of good things you value, or bad things. Now, bad things can be bad omens. People in your environment that you pretty much have an intimacy with or a deep connection with may be experiencing putting burdens on you, or you could become a burden. Now, what you need to basically be doing and understanding that these situations are going to come back up when it comes to your experiences. So it's good to basically start to experience traveling or moving around or getting away from your environment and shit, or getting the fuck out of that environment ASAP. But be aware, you're going to be experiencing some deep power and control issues when it comes to your environment. And also, if you have Venus and Gemini, you're going to be pretty much experiencing misunderstood communications on a deep level. Also, and you're going to be experiencing you're going to be experiencing some indecisiveness too. Also, if you have Venus and Scorpio in the 4th house, you're going to be experiencing deep love when it comes to your home, your family, and of course, your privacy. This is going to be a situation where people, places, and things can be basically taking your kindness for weakness right now, feel me? Or past morals that you pretty much was rooted in can basically pop back up. Family members may be basically pushing some morals on you or some principles, or putting some status or responsibilities on you and shit. This is what you're going to be experiencing. Now, what you need to basically do is, with this position, you need to love and compromise with home internally first. Get yourself right first before you put yourself out there or commit with family individuals or close ties and shit. But people, places, and things can be taking your kindness for weakness, and you may snap. It'll take power, but you need to take power and control over home. Then you need to get yourself out there and focus on your career and love your career. Also, if you have Venus in Cancer, you're going to be experiencing a gift to allow individuals to walk on you and take power and control over you, or take power and control and wake up. Now, if you have Venus in fucking the 5th house, you're going to be basically experiencing deep love when it comes to your creative endeavors and your hobbies and your self-expressions. Now, you're going to be seen being very, egotistical, being seen, being conceited. And of course, this can attract good or bad. But of course, you're going to be experiencing some past issues when it comes to your public endeavors or your public experiences that you did with previous situations. Now, you can be abusing your power, being too reckless and shit. And try not to do that, because you can put yourself into a transformational state. Because of course, with Scorpio here, you're going to experience some deep power and control issues, or getting transformed out of your creative endeavors. Now, if you got this, with this positioning, if you got Venus and Leo, you're going to be basically experiencing conflict when it comes to giving off and receiving attention. If you have Venus and Scorpio in the 6th house, you're going to be experiencing deep experiences when it comes to your routines and things that you do on an everyday basis. Now, this is going to be a situation where you're going to be experiencing extreme criticism towards others or receiving these things. And of course, you're going to be dealing with some power and controlling issues, whether you controlling someone, responsibilities, or someone duties. Now, past situations of your dreams and fantasies and illusions can basically pop back up, and be aware of these areas. Venus and Virgos, you're going to have opportunities to pretty much work on your love. Venus and Scorpio in the 7th house, you're going to have deep power and control situations when it comes to relationships and being related to. You could be taken advantage of by friends and family at this position, and try not to allow that. Take power and control, get a little bit more selfish, and you'll be all right. Venus in Libra, you're going to be experiencing some adjustments when it comes to deep relationships and compromisations with people, places, and things. Venus in the 8th house, you're going to be experiencing some deep desires and transformational issues with this perspective. Deep roots too. Try to ground yourself and start building, because of course you're going to find the gold here. Try not to get too deeply rooted into your desires, because this is going to put you into situations where you're going to get deeply rooted, and this thing can fuck you up. Now, what you need to basically start to realize that you're going to start to experience some past security, past money, and past experiences with your finances going to be basically popping up. This can control you or make you or break you. Now, you got to pick and choose how you're going to control these things. They're going to control you or you're going to control it. Now, if you got Venus and Scorpio in the 9th house, you're going to be experiencing deep experiences. You're going to be loving and compromising deeply about your experiences. Also, it's going to put you into situations of good or bad. Now, the bad is going to be setbacks from your surroundings, setbacks from family or close ones, or you may put yourself in situations where you was always lonely or wanted to be lonely and shit. Now, what you need to not do is not lose faith. You need to build on your faith and, of course, be rooted into this area. Because, of course, you're going to experience some adjustments and some opposing energies. But you really need to basically take building your faith levels on a higher level, and you're going to be out in this area. Now, if you got Venus and Sagittarius, you guys are going to be experiencing deep changes when it comes to past. Yeah, deep experiences when it comes to the past and making adjustments. Now, you got Venus and Scorpio in the 10th house. You're going to be basically experiencing deep power and control issues when it comes to loving and compromising about your career and how you do business in the public. So you're going to be all over the fucking place. You don't know what you want to do. And of course, you could become very lazy and not even take the step into basically getting this shit done. You could be very superficial if you don't take care of home, if you was playing bad seeds. Now, past experiences are going to pop back up to say, oh, remember you was doing this, remember you want to do this. These things are going to pop back up. So be aware of these things and take power control over your career and your status. Here we at. Venus and Capricorn, you're going to exalt yourself when it comes to loving about your work and shit. You need to take power control over that area. Now, Venus and Scorpio in the 11th house, you're going to go to some extremes when it comes to being in the public and loving deeply about the public. You could be loving too much, being too much of a humanitarian and shit, and putting yourself in situations of setbacks like, oh, maybe I need to start ghosting these motherfuckers. Because past experiences are going to come back up when it comes to ego, self-creativity, and of course, how you should be selfish sometimes. These things are going to pop back up, and you may be basically thrown off your spiritual path if you don't get on business and handle business. Now, with this situation right here, you're going to be basically experiencing some conflict too. But it's going to be to the extremes. And when things get too extremist, you got to learn how to position yourself and not overindulge into these areas. Because you can be loving too deeply about your public or how you interact with individuals in your groups and groupings and shit. So try to relax. For me, everything can be catering to you if you pretty much learn how to like set the example and see things from a mile away. Now, Aquarius, if you got Venus in Aquarius, you're going to be basically dealing with you're going to be learning how to love deeply about your environment. And of course, being seen behind closed doors too. So you may be very private during this time, Venus in Aquarius. Also, last but not least, if you have Venus and Scorpio in the 12th house, you're going to be pretty much loving deeply about your dreams and illusions. And of course, this is going to be a situation where you're going to come, of course, oh yeah, you're going to be dealing with some jealousy. You're going to be dealing with some misunderstandings. You're going to be pretty much dealing with some past duties and past health issues and shit that may pop back up when it comes to loving too much about health or worrying too much about dreams and shit. This can pretty much burst pipes and pressure bust pipes. So don't put yourself into the situation of overindulging to these areas and shit. And try to put yourself, because you're gonna be dealing with some conflict. Feel me? You're gonna learn how to basically work around this conflict for the good or the worse. But you gotta have a passion and a purpose behind what you're trying to do, and not get too deeply rooted into situations that's not gonna help or better you. Now, Venus and Pisces individuals, you guys is gonna have a gift to love an illusion deeply. Now, these illusions can help you or make you, but you gotta know that what you need to do is pretty much harness these energies, harness these transits to work in your favors. But of course, you still gotta get a little bit more practical too, in order for things to work out. But you're gonna have a gift sitting on your lap. Don't allow this gift to pretty much pass you. But you're gonna be dealing with gifts. And you're gonna be dealing with squares. So don't be a square. Just be the gift that you can basically be able to heal the world. Love y'all.